Japan runs on 127 million people, packed into a country the size of California, and somehow everything works. Trains arrive within 7 seconds of their scheduled time. Streets are cleaner than most people's kitchens. Crime is so low that children as young as 6 ride the subway to school alone, and the average Japanese adult manages a full work life, a household, meals and personal care in spaces that would make most Americans claustrophobic, and they do it with less stress, less chaos, and fewer breakdowns than almost any other population on Earth. That doesn't happen because of technology. It doesn't happen because of government programs. It happens because of how Japanese people organize the invisible parts of their day, the transitions, the micro-decisions, the tiny mundane moments between the moments that most of us don't even think about. They've optimized the boring stuff so ruthlessly that the rest of their life runs on autopilot, and that autopilot is smoother than anything most Westerners achieve on their best day. Today I'm going to share 10 of these habits with you. Not the poetic ones, not the philosophical ones, the practical, nuts and bolts systems that make daily life genuinely measurably easier. And every single one of them can be started tonight, with 0 money, 0 equipment, and 0 willpower. Let's get into it. Number 1. Decide what you're eating before you're hungry. In Japan, there's a deeply embedded practice called kondate, which means weekly meal planning. But it's not the Pinterest board, color-coded spreadsheet version that Americans imagine. It's simpler than that. Most Japanese households operate on a rotating set of roughly 10 to 15 meals that cycle through the week with minor seasonal variations. Monday is curry. Wednesday is grilled fish with miso soup. Friday is noodles. The ingredients are predictable. The grocery list writes itself, and the nightly panic of what's for dinner simply doesn't exist. This eliminates one of the single biggest sources of daily friction in any household. Studies from Cornell University found that the average person makes over 200 food-related decisions per day. 200. What to eat, when to eat, how much to eat, what to buy, what to cook, whether to order out. Each decision drains cognitive energy that could be spent on something that actually matters. The fix is absurdly simple. Sit down once, on a Sunday, and write down 7 dinners. Not new recipes, not ambitious meals. Your existing favorites. Assign each one to a day. Buy accordingly. Now every weeknight when 5:30 p.m. arrives and your brain is fried, there's no decision to make. The plan already exists. The food is already in the fridge. You just execute. Japanese families have been doing this for generations, and it's one of the biggest reasons their evenings feel calmer than ours. Number 2. Give every object a home address. The Japanese concept of saiton means that every single item in your house has a designated location, not a general area, not the junk drawer. A specific, exact home. Keys go on the hook by the door. The remote goes on the left side of the coffee table. The scissors go in the second drawer, right side. Every time you use something, it goes back to its address, every time. This sounds rigid until you calculate how much time the average person spends looking for lost items. A study by Pixie Technology found that Americans spend 2.5 days per year searching for misplaced things. That's 60 full hours of your life, gone, every single year, looking for your keys, your wallet, your phone, your charger, your glasses. That's not a minor inconvenience. That's a week of vacation you're spending on your hands and knees, looking under couch cushions. The Japanese eliminate this entirely. not through some mystical discipline, through one rule: when you pick something up, put it back in the same place. Every time, no exceptions. Within 2 weeks of practicing this, you will stop losing things completely, and the mental bandwidth that frees up is staggering. You don't realize how much of your background anxiety comes from low-level disorganization until the disorganization disappears. Number 3. Handle everything once. There's an efficiency concept practiced widely in Japanese offices and homes called ikkai de sumasu. Loosely translated, it means finish it in one touch. When you pick up the mail, you don't put it on the counter to deal with later. You open it, process it, file it or trash it right then. When you take off your jacket, you don't throw it on the chair. You hang it up immediately. When a dish is dirty, you wash it now, not later. The principle is based on a brutal truth about human behavior. Every time you put something down to deal with later, you've created a task. That task sits in your subconscious, like an open browser tab, consuming mental resources until it's resolved. Psychologists call this the Zeigarnik effect. Your brain holds on to incomplete tasks and quietly nags you about them, even when you're not consciously thinking about them. 10 unfinished micro-tasks equals 10 invisible weights on your attention. The Japanese approach is to close the loop immediately. Touch it once, decide once, done. This single habit can cut your daily mental clutter in half. It doesn't save you time in the long run, because the task takes the same amount of time, whether you do it now or later. But it eliminates the cognitive tax of carrying it around, and that tax is far more expensive than people realize. Number 4. Prepare the night before, not the morning of. Every evening, millions of Japanese households go through a quiet reset. Tomorrow's outfit is selected and laid out. The bag is packed with everything needed. Lunches are partially prepped. The entryway is cleared. Coffee is set up to brew. The kitchen counter is wiped clean. The logic behind this is deeply practical. The morning is the worst possible time to make decisions. Cortisol is spiking. Time pressure is mounting. Kids are unpredictable. Traffic is unforgiving. Every decision you force yourself to make under morning stress costs more cognitive energy than the same decision made calmly the evening before. It's the same choice, made in worse conditions, at a higher price. Japanese homes treat the evening as the staging area for the next day, and the result is mornings that feel effortless. You're not scrambling. You're not searching. You're not deciding. You're just moving through a sequence that past you already designed. It's like leaving yourself a gift every night and unwrapping it every morning. The compounding effect over months and years is enormous. Calmer mornings lead to better performance, which leads to less stress, which leads to better evenings, which leads to better preparation for the next day. The cycle feeds itself. Number 5. Carry a small bag inside your bag. This is one of those tiny Japanese habits that sounds trivial until you adopt it and realize it solved a problem you didn't know you had. Most Japanese commuters carry a small pouch or bag within a bag that holds their daily essentials: phone charger, tissues, hand sanitizer, lip balm, a pen, earbuds, keys, and a small wallet. When they switch bags, briefcases, or backpacks, they don't transfer 15 individual items. They move one pouch. This eliminates the number one reason people forget things when leaving the house. When your essentials live scattered across the bottom of a bag, switching bags means remembering each item individually. One forgotten item ruins your day, But when everything lives in a single pouch, switching bags takes 3 seconds and nothing gets left behind. It also means the inside of your bag is never a disaster zone. You're not fishing around through receipts, gum wrappers, and loose change to find your earbuds. You open the pouch, grab what you need, close it, done. It's a $10 organizational system that saves you more frustration per week than most people realize. Number 6. Clean for 2 minutes after every activity. Not before, not during, after. In Japanese households, every transition between activities includes a micro-clean. Finished cooking? 2 minutes to wipe the counter and put away ingredients before sitting down to eat. Finished eating? 2 minutes to clear the table and rinse the dishes before moving to the couch. Finished working at the desk? 2 minutes to organize the papers and push in the chair before leaving the room. The math on this is revealing. 10 2-minute cleanups throughout the day equals 20 minutes of total cleaning time, spread invisibly across the day. But those 20 minutes prevent the 3-hour weekend deep clean that most American households dread. The mess never accumulates because it's being addressed in real time, in doses so small they don't feel like work. This is the fundamental difference between the Japanese approach to household maintenance and the Western one. Westerners let messes build until they're overwhelming, then attack them in painful bursts. Japanese households prevent messes from building in the first place. One approach creates dread. The other creates a home that is perpetually 90% clean, without any single moment of effort. Feeling difficult. Number 7. Eat from smaller dishes. Japanese meals are traditionally served on multiple small plates and bowls, rather than one large plate. A typical home dinner might include a bowl of rice, a small dish of pickled vegetables, a bowl of miso soup, a plate of grilled fish, and a tiny side of salad. Each portion is modest. The total meal is satisfying, but not excessive. This isn't a diet trick. It's a design decision. Research from the Cornell Food and Brand Lab found that people eat 22% less when food is served on smaller plates, without feeling any less satisfied. The visual of a full, small plate registers in the brain as abundance. The visual of the same amount of food on a large plate registers as scarcity. Same food, same calories, completely different psychological experience. Japan has an obesity rate of 4.5%. America's is 42%. There are many factors behind that gap, but the plating system is one of them, and it's the easiest to adopt. You don't need to change what you eat. You just need smaller plates, and more of them. The meal feels more varied, more beautiful, and more intentional, and you naturally eat less without any conscious restriction. Number 8. Keep the entrance of your home immaculate. The genkan, the entryway of a Japanese home, is treated as the most important square footage in the entire house. Shoes are removed and aligned neatly, toes facing the door. The floor is swept daily. There is nothing on the ground that shouldn't be there. Coats are hung. Umbrellas are stored. The space is minimal, clean and organized at all times. The reasoning is partly cultural and partly neurological. The entrance is a transition zone. It's the space where your brain switches from outside mode to home mode. When that transition zone is cluttered with kicked-off shoes, dropped backpacks, and stacked mail, your brain never fully makes the switch. You carry the chaos of the outside world into your home, because the first thing your eyes encountered was more chaos. When the entryway is clean, the transition is complete. You step inside, and your nervous system registers order, calm, safety, That's not poetic language. It's measurable. Environmental psychologists have documented that visual clutter in the home raises cortisol levels. The fix starts at the front door. 5 minutes of daily attention to your entryway changes how it feels to come home, and how it feels to come home changes everything that happens after. Number 9. Batch your errands into a single trip. Japanese urban planning encourages this naturally, but the habit itself is deliberate. Rather than running to the store every time something runs out, Japanese households maintain a running list and consolidate errands into 1 or 2 efficient outings per week. Groceries, pharmacy, post office, dry cleaning, all in one loop, one time. Every individual errand trip costs you more than you think. It's not just the travel time. It's the getting ready, the driving, the parking, the re-entry when you get home, and the disruption to whatever you were doing before you left. A single errand that takes 20 minutes in the store often consumes 45 to 60 minutes of your day when you account for the full cycle. 4 separate errand trips per week at an hour each is 4 hours gone. 1 consolidated trip takes 90 minutes. You just recovered 2.5 hours of your week by changing nothing about what you buy, only when and how you buy it. The running list is the enabler. Keep it on the refrigerator, in a notes app, wherever it's visible. When something runs low, it goes on the list immediately. When the list is long enough, you go. 1 trip, 1 loop, done for the week. Number 10. End the day by resetting your home to 0. This is the capstone habit that holds all the others together. Every night, before bed, Japanese households perform a 10-minute reset. Dishes are washed or loaded, counters are wiped, cushions are straightened, stray items are returned to their homes, shoes at the entryway are aligned. The living space is returned to its baseline state, as if nobody lived there. This is not cleaning. Cleaning already happened in those 2-minute bursts throughout the day. This is resetting. It's the difference between maintaining a system and starting over. A reset takes 10 minutes, because there's almost nothing to do. A cleanup after a day of neglect takes an hour, because everything piled up. But the deepest benefit isn't the time savings. It's what happens the next morning. You wake up and walk into a home that is already in order. The dishes aren't waiting for you. The counter isn't sticky. The couch isn't buried under yesterday's laundry. Your first experience of the new day is calm, and that calm isn't free. You paid for it last night with 10 minutes of quiet attention, but it's the best trade you'll ever make. Every habit on this list has one thing in common. It removes friction from a part of your day that you currently suffer through without realizing it. The meal decision, the lost keys, the cluttered entryway, the morning scramble, the weekend cleaning marathon. These are tiny miseries that you've accepted as normal because everyone around you accepts them too. Japan doesn't accept them. Japan engineered them out, one small habit at a time, and the result isn't a culture of robots or neat freaks. It's a culture of people who have more energy left at the end of the day because they didn't waste it fighting problems that should never have existed in the first place. You can start any one of these tonight. Pick the one that would remove the most daily annoyance from your life, and do only that one for a week. Then add the next one. That's it. No overhaul, no transformation. Just one less thing going wrong every day, compounding quietly until your life runs smoother than you ever thought possible. If this was useful, hit that subscribe button, Share it with someone whose mornings are chaos. And I'll see you in the next one.